Kia ora, I'm Victoria Ross and I'm the General Manager here at Waiwaste Food Rescue. So we are an organisation that picks up food from supermarkets, local donors, local producers, local growers, cafes, things like that, that's not good enough to sell but still good enough to eat, and we bring it back to our base and we sort it out and we give it out to about 30 different community organisations here in the beautiful Wairarapa. I know that the food that we are rescuing won't end up in landfill like so much food does. Around 40% worldwide of food produced ends up in landfill, and I know that we're doing our bit to keep that food out of the landfill, which saves CO2 emissions, which is in turn helping the environment. But it also ticks social box for me, so I know that the food that we're rescuing goes out to people who need it. We do a lot of produce and a lot of bread, but it can be anything. For example, there might be a box of cereal that the boxes are a little bit damaged, but the cereal inside is absolutely fine, and that will come to us. We do get some stuff that's just too much past its prime to give out, so that goes to compost and chickens. So nothing from here ends up in landfill at all. We've got a real variation in our community groups that come to us. They come once a week, and we give them a box of produce, a box of bread, a box of frozen food and dairy if we've got it, and groceries. The amounts vary from week to week just depending on how much food we've rescued, so we supplement with our rescued food rather than being able to provide everything like a food bank would. So we are very lucky that our community is so incredibly supportive of us. So right from our wonderful donors and funders like Masterton Trust Lands Trust, we get grants from the council, WBS Legal, there are so many funders and donors. We're so incredibly grateful, and we're volunteer supported, so we've got around about 30 volunteers who work so hard, and we're so lucky to have them. Local people who pop in with food from their garden, which is just so incredibly appreciated, to local producers, local farmers, growers who donate excess stuff to us every week in season, and it's just amazing, and it means that we can feed our community. 8:30 our first lot of volunteers come in and they get the vans ready and they go out and start doing pickups, and we have 2 vans. One van goes to Woolworths and the other van will go to Pack and Save, New World and More Wilsons, and then they're back by about 9:30, and then our second wave of volunteers come in and they start doing all the sorting. So all the food gets put on the big metal tables and people start sorting it, so checking that it's still fine to eat, that nothing's past its use by date, that everything, we're following all our health and safety regulations. And once all that's done, we have morning tea, because it's really important that we spoil our volunteers because they're amazing. Then we do the drop off to Food Bank. Masterton Food Bank gets a delivery every day, and the Resource Centre. Then we get ready for our recipients to come and pick up from 11:30 to 12:30. We make a big impact for such a small organisation, and I think it's true. So for example, in 2024 we rescued and redistributed about 150,000 kilos of food. So that's an enormous amount of CO2 emissions that we're keeping out of landfill, and a lot of people that we're feeding. And we're doing our best to rescue more food so that we can kind of help feed people who are hungry. We cover the whole of the Wairarapa, but most of our work is in Masterton. I think what we're doing is huge.
Kia ora. I am Donna Gray and I'm from Te Awhina Community Hub on the east side. So I come and collect every Monday about 11:30 is our time, and we've been able to feed our homeless, we've been able to feed up to 7 households, and people just drop in asking for help because the need is absolutely real. We give it out as the need is, and then at the end of the week we have a pātaka in Johnson Street at Kōti Aroha, and we put all the leftovers round there, and they don't last. We don't have any waste. If we didn't have Waiwaste to be able to help these people, I hate to imagine what it's like. I met a young man last week who I've not met before, local, came in and asked if there was any help with Kai, and I said, yep, sure. We were able to fill up a box for him, and he was just absolutely blown away by what we could give him out of our freezer thanks to Why Waste. And, you know, he was like, oh my God, you have helped us so much. Can I give you a hug? So, you know, I love my job, and I love the fact that as a community we are really well connected, and, you know, Why Waste are fabulous. We've got to have Why Wastes everywhere.